Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. Bodily fluids, spit, sweat, semen, urine, scat, and vomit.
Ooh, when I read the vomit part, I was like, that's a little bit rough for me.
Now, I do want to say, this was in my vanilla world. I think I've had, let's see, spit, sweat, semen. I don't know that I've had semen. I've been spit on, I've been sweat on, I've been pissed on, I've been puked on.
Yeah, but not in a sexual nature.
Definitely not in a sexual nature.
You're here walking
in
through
the
this.
EMS field. But again, that's why I said
so
this was
much.
in my vanilla life prior to BDSM and all of this. But yeah, in working as an EMT, you get all these bodily fluids on you.
There are terms. They're all philia terms. I don't necessarily know that we need to say them all.
But they, there's no way we're going to be able to pronounce some of them. Emotophilia.
That sounds right.
Is the attraction to vomit, their own or someone else's. The first thing that comes to mind here is giving a blowjob and gagging. I have seen videos where women have vomited while giving blowjobs, and it doesn't faze them. They're right back on it again, so that could be part of that.
Clismophilia.
That looks right.
Sexual arousal by enemas.
Enemas.
I know that word. I know what it is.
Yep.
And that would involve the process of elimination as well,
Right.
not just getting the enema, but
Getting rid of everything in there. Yep. I don't care anything about feeling that. Lactophilia.
Did you ever do an enema?
I
had surgery. I had
have
surgery
not
and
had an enema.
I had to do the whole thing for
Yeah.
surgery.
I have not had to have an enema, and I'm very happy for that. I have a hard enough time when I go to the bathroom anyway. I don't usually need help, and that I honestly believe that would probably kill me right there.
This one's a big one.
Yeah, the lactophilia is arousal from watching a woman breastfeed or lactate in a nursing role play. Yes, I will watch that all day. Not a problem. Even if you're not lactating, I will still look.
Do you want to suck on it when the milk is
I kind of do.
You've never done
I've
that?
never done that.
But you had kids.
I did. But
And it just never.
the vanilla people I was with would not let me nowhere near it. But I am curious. I want to know
if
what
you're
does
pregnant out there.
I do. I am interested. What does breast milk taste like? I do kind of want to know.
Please don't send us any.
Yeah, no, don't send it in the mail, because that's kind of not the point that I want. I want to actually physically remove it myself. But
Yes.
that is something that I have always thought.
And we're totally doing what we do here. We're not making light of it. If this is your kink and your fetish,
Absolutely.
we're not yucking it at all.
Oh, hell no. Definitely not yucking it.
On any of this, what we're doing is we're just bringing it to
light.
light.
Maybe these are terms that other people,
Had
setting off somewhere thinking there's something wrong with me because I want to suck on a woman who's lactating. And I do. I've always had that. I've always thought that. But, and again, there was times I thought I was really screwed up in the head. So by finding the BDSM world and seeing all this and knowing that I'm not alone in a lot of what at the time I thought were weird and fucked up things that I wanted to do.
Right.
So by no means, if any of this is your thing, it may not be ours, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You keep doing you, as long as you're happy, not hurting yourself or anybody else. Do your thing, and we're just trying to bring light and to inform people about all the. I mean, and again, this isn't even all of them. This is a very, very small list
Very small
of
list.
BDSM.
It was just the things that came up either in conversations we had or
Correct.
bounced from, hey, we looked up one thing and that led us into
led us
two or
into-
three more
yeah.
things that I didn't even know existed.
Right.
So yeah,
All right. Moving on to urophilia.
Mhm.
Was you going to do that one?
water sports.
Water sports, sexual arousal from urine, either giving or receiving.
I knew somebody
Okay.
who had been military and had been in Iraq and Afghanistan, I think. And they had this, they said prior to that, they really didn't, but this created this thing where urine was
Did they want to be urinated
not
on?
not a
They
what that's
wanted
called
to-
a golden shower.
Golden
I even
shower.
heard that when I was a vanilla
Yeah,
person.
golden shower.
No, they wanted to see it. They wanted
Just
it
wanted to
poured
see it.
into a glass. They didn't want to drink it or anything, but it was the urinating into a glass
Right.
and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I have, and again, you reach back into the very, very dark corner of my brain back here. I wouldn't mind urinating on somebody. I have seen videos of it where the submissives are used as urinals. They hold it in their mouth. It goes all over their face. I'm kind of into that.
Okay.
You don't even know that.
Right.
That's something you did not know about me, but there is a portion of me that says I would like to do that.
Now, let's get real, Master Nick, who I love with
Okay.
all my heart. You don't even pee in front of me.
And that's the problem. I have a hard time
don't
peeing
even-
if anybody's around. So,
right. It
and again,
immediately dries up when anybody's around.
I could be if I'm in a public bathroom and I'm needing to pee and I'm doing the potty dance and I'm bouncing and trying to get him pulled out. And if somebody walks in, instantly shuts down. I no longer need to pee. I will sit there. I will stand there until they leave for me to pee.
Well,
So,
you do realize that a person has
I
to
know
be
that,
involved.
which is why people don't know that part about me. But it is a fascination of mine that I would be willing to explore if I could.
When you read things in stories too, right? So things that come across in either porn or porn related stories.
Yep.
Those kind of things draw you in, right?
Yes.
There's one that, gosh, I loved the idea of it. And it was a pacifier, like using your penis as a pacifier at night. Like keep it in your mouth. Don't let it come out. I want you to sleep with it in. Obviously, when I fall asleep, if it comes out, but when you wake up, make sure you and there's this whole control kind of humiliation, kind of age play thing that it was very erotic in this story.
Okay.
So you can read things and think about things and get very turned on.
Yep.
And sometimes in real life, you're like, nope, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But in other times, it may be something that you want to do.
Exactly. What kind of smutty shit are you reading over
You
there?
know what kind of smutty shit I read. I write it just as smutty as the reading it.
You do a damn good writing too. All right. Take the next one.
We're going to go to breath play.
Okay.
So restricting one's access to oxygen to heighten their pleasure. And that can be done in a number of ways. One of the things is when you face fuck somebody where you're holding them, and whether you're a female on top or smothering or a male literally at the back of the throat holding you on, that is a breath play.
Right. Especially like if I'm gagging you with my dick and then holding your nose at the same time, that is definitely a breath play.
you don't even have to
You
hold
don't
the
have to,
note.
but now
you
I'm putting two and two together here of going, oh, okay, yeah, I see where this is going.
Corsets are another way. There have
Okay.
been people that their partner will tie them into a corset very, very tight where
Right.
you can't get full breaths.
Right.
And you have to watch it very closely. You have
Yes.
to make sure. Hands, implements, but hands, do you remember that uh show we saw where at the end of the very heavy impact?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
During aftercare.
In aftercare,
Yep.
yes.
They put on one hell of a show. You had the male dominant and the female submissive. And
He was
there
big and she was little.
So that was probably another kink and fetish of theirs. But yeah, he was really large and he was wailing that flogger, and it was a tremendous show. And then afterwards, he sat in a chair, she kneeled beside him, and he would rub her hair and rub her body, and was caressing her and was talking to her, and reached up with his hand and choked her out. And she, it didn't take long at all. She would pass out. He would hold her. She would come back to. He would continue caressing her, talking to her, and then he would do it again. He'd done it multiple times.
It was very exciting to watch.
It was.
It's walking a line of danger in a more dangerous manner.
Yeah.
And when you see that, there's something primal in you that that at least like my submissive side goes, ooh.
Right.
And then you flip it and it's dangerous. So you're walking a line.
You are.
I think sometimes, more than sometimes, BDSM walks a line that gives you that sense of danger, which is why we do some of these things.
Right. I mean, and again, I don't really know of anything in BDSM that is 100% safe.
Right.
Everything has its risk. And, therefore it's why they talk about risk assessments. You need to know your risk profile.
Aware. Mm-hmm.
And make sure you're understanding to anything that could go wrong. But yes, I mean, basically everything in BDSM comes with some sort of risk, and some are more severe than others. But there is a risk pretty much to anything and everything you do. Moving into the breeding fetish. And this is an attraction to the concept of either getting pregnant or getting another person pregnant. Risk of permanent consequences is the hot part in this fetish.
Sometimes it's about a fantasy of raising a child or creating something together.
Yep. You've got the animalistic nature of using uterus as nature intended.
Power play, degradation, and objectification. Man, my mouth.
Objectification.
Thank you.
You
can
are
just say
welcome.
that. I am having a hard time with
We
that word.
both are kind of having a hard time with
Well,
words today.
these are a lot of words that we don't use in normal conversation.
Correct. I don't go around
and
saying,
they have a lot of syllables.
Yeah, I don't just go around saying objectification all the time. You
I
see
know.
how smooth
It was
rolled off?
so smooth, Master Nick. This is why we partner up so well.
Yep.
So breeding fetishes, to me, and I'm not doing it, but I could see the whole side of primal play, right? You are chasing down you could get pregnant. And I could see a whole scene in my head built around this, but there are permanent consequences.
Right, exactly.
Like, getting pregnant and having a child.
Yep. And that would be, I mean, again, it would be a tough one for me to participate in on that one, because that's at least 18 years that you're dedicated to something.
Yes.
So that is
and
a
you've
huge
raised
commitment.
Yours.
I've raised mine.
And you have another one.
And now I'm raising another one. Yep.
But you can see it, right? You
Right.
can see how it would really go into like a primal prey
It could.
version of
The
it.
age play doesn't have to be primal prey. I know there is
The age play?
the
Breeding play?
breeding play. Yeah. What did I say?
Age play?
Oh, my bad. I skipped it. Yes, the breeding
Fetish.
Doesn't necessarily have to be primal prey.
No, it
It
doesn't.
can be. I could see it more for that, but there is. I mean, I do know couples out there that do the BBC breeding.
Okay.
I've heard some of that. Where they.
Explain that, what that stands for.
Well, it's so BBC is big black cock,
Uh-huh.
and then it's normally a white couple, male female couple, and most of them that I've seen, it's been more of the male's idea of bringing the BBC in. Sometimes the female wants it as well. But then that also, some of that ties into the breeding fetish,
Okay.
where the white couple may get bred by a black guy. And, that is huge. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of videos,
Okay.
relating to that out there as well. So
Okay.
that falls under the breeding fetish. I'm going to let you take the next one.
All right, let's do this
We're going to
thing.
butcher this one.
Okay, it is agal. No, it's agalmatophilia is a sexual attraction to statues, mannequins, and now they've added dolls as a part of this
Okay.
because sex dolls are widely
Oh, yeah.
available.
Oh, yeah.
They're real, ultra realistic. So this is an object sexuality which involves deep emotions and or romantic attachments to inanimate objects. So it was something that was even back the statues that were created back in Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Though this is where the word came from,
Okay.
and where this attraction to statues, and then it's developed and added into mannequins, and you've seen
Right.
that, like I've seen it on like different programs.
I've known a few people to have mannequins that they wanted. I never knew at the time why or what it was for, and it may or may not be related to this, but yeah, they had mannequins. And then, like I said, with dolls, I mean, dolls have come a long way over the last several years. They can make them absolutely 100% realistic looking, realistic feeling. I can see it more to a doll, especially now. I mean, again, they are ultra realistic. But okay, that is something that
I've read some pornographic material that was a big turn on
right.
about that. And then so in that there's somnophilia.
Okay.
So somnophilia is arousal from a person who is asleep or unconscious. It's AKA sleeping beauty syndrome. And then this is like an exchange of power. Like you have to agree to all this when the person is
Right.
awake. But that would be the same thing with the doll. Like if I took sleeping medication on a regular basis and it put me out, and this was something you enjoyed, just climb on.
Right.
And then me knowing when I wake up in the morning, and I've read some porn where I have been cummed on and it's coming out of me, then I know that I've been used.
Right.
So
what was that term?
It's somnophilia.
So another crazy ass story of somebody else I dated for a while.
What?
Prior to us.
I'm talking to our listeners and viewers. These are stories I've not heard before.
You have not heard, because again, I didn't think anything of it, but prior to us meeting, that was what she wanted. She had went on Craigslist and other things and had posted and was trying to find somebody. She wanted to take some cough syrup or something to get passed out and wanted somebody to come into her house and use her. And of course, first thing, you're letting strangers in your damn home do this. And she was like, well, I never really found nobody that I wanted to, to do it with, but that was one of her fantasies. And I just thought how crazy that was, that you would want a stranger coming in. And
I wouldn't want a stranger.
No, but I bet you that was tied. She had this.
Right. Absolutely. Because, and obviously there was a lawsuit recently. I say recently, but it's in a few years, I'm not sure
Okay.
exact time, where there was a husband drugging a wife and getting money from people to come and have sex with her while
Right.
she
While
was
she was
out.
out.
So there's a very negative side of this that you have to
Yeah.
be aware of,
Exactly.
because there's so much in any of the things, even vanilla sex can be used in a bad way. So I'm not, I'm not advocating for any of that. I'm just saying there's also the
Right. If
things
it's
that
done,
turns on between two consenting.
if it's done between consenting adults,
If
and
I
the
agree to this and I
yes.
set the parameters beforehand,
Right.
because I've read books and the books were, it was hot in
Right.
my mind as I'm reading this. I don't read, the romance where Prince Charming comes in and
riding
saves
a
the
white
day,
horse.
and you guys get married and live happily ever
Right.
after, never having sex, because of course they're not having sex until the magical baby pops out. Like I'm reading the stuff that, somebody was turned into a doll,
Right.
and they were alive inside the doll and being used,
Right.
and I'm like, whoo.
So I could see a lot of that. And I have heard people saying they like being woken up to, being fucked or being eat on or any of that stuff. So
I would be happy being woken up to being eat on at any point.
Me too. Just so you know. For when you get to feeling better.
Feeling better when my body is back to normal.
All right, moving on. Age play, which is role playing, where partners act as if they are different ages than what they actually are. You have a parent and a child is common. Daddy's girl. And there's, along with that, there's the littles. The littles enjoy just being being a child. Having a pacifier.
There's different age grades too.
Right.
Yes.
But, going anywhere from having a pacifier to coloring books to blankets to stuffed animals.
Right.
And then there is also dynamics like it. There is daddy and little girl dynamics that work very similar to a dominant submissive relationship, but it is a daddy and little girl.
And in the age play, I can see that, because there's this desire when you have somebody who's a caregiver, like, in our DS dynamic, that I call you daddy during specific sexual acts that make me feel like you're, I don't know, have that kind of power over me.
Right.
So it's not an all the time thing, but it comes up. Now there's dynamics built around it, and it's age play. And we've talked about it on different episodes, but we actually, the first time we went to an event, BDSM Slosh and Munch.
Way back when.
Way back when. It was a lot of littles. It was really fun that night too, because they have this like carefree kind of mindset, especially when they're in their little space, when their mind is going there. There's this whole feeling of lightness and friendliness and playfulness.
That was the word I was looking for, playfulness.
Yeah. So, but there's an additional, which is, this one's hard too. Autonepophilia. So it's autonepophilia.
Okay.
And it is sexual pleasure derived from dressing up as or acting like a baby.
Okay.
Often there is a mommy or daddy figure. It might involve nursing, changing a diaper, engaging in other infantile behaviors like a baby bottle.
Right.
And a lot of times when you see this, it's a man. Have you seen it or read it or seen stories about it where it's a man wanting to be in a diaper or whatever? And then
at one time, my ex account, and again, we have our marketing manager who does all of our social media posts and stuff. We'll film it, send it to Jess, and she'll get everything ready. So I don't know what she searched or what she done, but there at one time on my ex account, it was people in diapers. And when it started pulling up, and it took me a minute, it's like, what's going on here? What's this? And so
Right.
I'd done a little bit of research then just to
Yeah.
understand
What it was.
why the people wearing diapers were now showing up in my X account feed. And
There's
it
not
tied
a
into a lot of this.
it's not a sexual attraction to an infant.
Correct.
It is it's the desire to
be
be
the
an infant or to
Right.
be the parent
Right.
to an adult that needs these things. I
Right.
mean, it's again, we're talking about all these things because they come up, they're
Yep.
part of the world. Some are things we agree with, we don't agree with, but we're not judging other people
Absolutely
for their not when we're engaged in the things we get engaged in.
Exactly.
I mean, we have no but it came up when we started looking at age play.
Yep.
And so that's why we brought it up.
Yep.
And I could see that it would be nice, I'm not going to lie, for another story I read. I read some really crazy stories, but for me, that would be really nice in terms of letting go of all your adult crap.
Mm-hmm.
You would be focused on being an infant, a baby, being taken care of 100%. There is no, and it's not that I have this burning desire to do it, but I can understand why.
I can totally relate to why they want to do it.
Because it just, with all the struggles, with all the stuff, it would be just really nice to, and in that environment, you are shutting down completely. You're in a crib or in a playpen, or you're completely dependent. You can cry. You can, there's just things about it that.
Oh yeah. And again, I can totally relate to the mindset of it. It was, it makes sense.
You would not enjoy it. If I'm there crying,
I would
you're going to not enjoy it.
I would not enjoy it, but I can relate. I can understand. And I am grateful that there are those people that want to, entertain that.
They have both sides
cooperate
of it,
in that, and have the side of the caregiving side of it.
Yes.
That is definitely something, no, I'm not interested in, but I have a high appreciation and gratitude towards the people that do want to do it. And I mean, again, because there's people that want it and there's people that want to do it, and hopefully they can find one another and live out their fantasies and fetishes and kinks and live a very happy life.
Well, and that's again, the sadists and masochists. It's the same thing. You have to have one to support the other.
Correct.
And I'm so glad we live in a world where people do find their partners in their lifestyle needs, because otherwise that would suck.
Right. Moving on to
this one.
Probably a more common one that most people know that has been around for a very long time, cuckolding. And that is a BDSM and power play. One person watches their partner have sex with someone else, or listens to stories or watches videos after the fact. Often, sexual humiliation may be a part. The partner prefers someone over them or is turned on more with a different partner, being cheated on, or etc.
Yeah, so you sometimes, that could also be the fact that your partner picks up somebody else.
Right.
And I mean, there's a whole nother aspect to it.
And cuckolding and hot wifing are similar.
Okay.
But yes, the cuckolding is usually more of the humiliation factor.
Okay. Tell me how that would work. Like, explain what
like cuckolding.
Uh-huh.
So the ones that I've seen, the ones that I've read, the ones that I've heard of, you've got the man and the woman. All the ones I've seen, the woman is the one that is cuckolding their husband or boyfriend or fiance, whatever. But while having sex, the female looks over to her male partner and talks about how much bigger this person is, or how much she's enjoying this more, and kind of, humiliating their partner, because you can't do this, or you don't know how to do this, or you're not big enough to do this, and that kind of thing. That's more of the cuckolding,
right?
Which makes it a little bit different. Makes the difference of cuckolding or hot wifing.
Right. Okay.
Well, fun fact.
So we talk about degradation and humiliation, and we've talked about it in different episodes
Mhm.
where it's just come up naturally. So I didn't include that in here, but we've come up on a couple of
Right.
times
The hot
just
wifing.
because,
Yep.
humiliation also leads into an area of objectification.
Objectification.
Gosh, bless my mouth.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you've got
Right.
it because I cannot get my brain around that word. And
Mhm.
I'm really good with English, but that word
That
is
word.
just tripping me up.
It is.
So I knew back in the day when I was mainly just online exploring that there were men that were interested in being objects. They wanted
Mhm.
to be placed in a position, used as my footrest. You know, there's a whole mental thing in there
Right.
about being ignored
Okay.
and used. So there's also being used for sexual
Mhm.
as a, object. Yeah.
Objectification.
I'm just going to point to you
Just point to me.
and you'll just say that word for me.
Objectification.
I don't know why I can't. But where you take somebody and all they are is a sexual organ.
Mhm.
You take away all of their identity. They don't get to talk, move, whatever.
Right.
You wrap them up. You cover them up. Wouldn't that be like a glory hole thing too?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it really tied to a glory hole. I mean, because a glory hole is normally
I got it.
wanting participant
On the outside.
on the outside with a wanting participant on the inside. That
Yeah, but
wants
they
to,
want to participate. They just need to be covered and not. So that's why my brain went to that,
Right.
which is a little bit different. But where they're used
Mhm.
as you want to use them, but ignored for everything else.
Right.
And it's a big one was the footstool, a table,
Mhm.
don't move, my drink better not spill type
Right.
of thing. An ashtray is another one.
Yep. Yep. And we've that's actually on our list here once
Yep.
we get down to it.
Go ahead.
All right. The next
Talk
one.
about it.
Oh, okay. Let's just go ahead and move on into cigar play and ash play.
Yes.
So you got the aroma, the taste, and the aesthetic of cigars. Holding a lit cigar closest to the skin for sensation and for the
Ashing. You cannot start over again when you're going to leave all my stuff in there. So here we go, sir.
You just blew that edit up. All right. Cigar service is very formal preparing, treatment, and serving of cigars, which we also learned is popular in the leather community. And looking back on the Indiana Kink and Leather weekend that we was on, they did have a cigar night.
Right.
We did not attend that because smoke tends to bother your allergies and mess things up. So we did not attend that, but now it makes sense.
Yes, and it's a matter of serving it to your
Right.
doms. So you kneel in front of them. You're the one prepping it. They get to inspect it, say yay or nay.
Right.
It ties in with a whiskey and cigar
Mhm.
theme. So you'll see that too, where you're preparing the drink.
Right.
The submissive is taking care of everything, bringing it to the dom.
Right. And then you've also got the play with smoke or with heat or with the ash, eating the ash, in your mouth.
They did a event at the club
Mm-hmm.
where they had a cigar night and
Yes, they
did
did.
the ashing. Some of it is about putting the cigar really close to the skin so that you feel the heat, that
Yep.
sensation play. You've got the aroma of it, like blowing smoke in the face, where you're taking away some breath play, I guess, would be involved in that.
Right.
I imagine there would be situations where you would blow it into your submissive. I'm just making this up as I go because
Right.
I don't know, but blowing it into your submissive's mouth, keep it in there, hold it until I
Mhm.
tell you to let it go. That kind of a control thing. Ash was the other
Yep.
part
Just
of that.
using it as a table or an ashtray. Yep.
Yes, and putting it in people's mouths. So there's some of it where I've actually seen this before I even knew about this, where licking an ashtray is showing your submissive to somebody, like they ask you and you do it.
Right.
But then the direct ashing onto the tongue,
Right.
there's a whole safety process and procedure. Make sure that you're researching and look.
Yes.
Don't just go out there and say, "Hey, put your cigar ash in my mouth," because
no.
it's not
Everything
safe.
on this list. Research.
Find
before
somebody
exploring.
who is involved in it. Talk to them.
Experienced with it. Yes.
Right, because all of these things could be very dangerous.
Yep. All of them come with risk.
And then we talked a little bit about say the word, Master Nick.
Objectification.
Thank you. I think we've covered latex was the other one.
Latex.
And it's a very popular, like
it is.
Latex.
Yes. And it's not only just in clothing and stuff. I mean, I think when it started, it was the latex clothing. But one dungeon we was at, it was really cool. They had like this big rectangle that opened in half like a clamshell. It did have a solid framework around it, but it had latex attached to it.
It collapsed.
And a person would get into it. They would fold it up on them and then hook a vacuum cleaner to it to suck all the air out. And all you could see was a latex body. And then, they would rub, they would tickle. The sensations really seemed to be heightened while in latex.
Yes.
You just a slight little tap or a touch, they could almost like feel it all over their body.
It was really interesting to watch.
That was
because
very
it's
interesting.
something I'm claustrophobic, and that that would really push it would have to be a private session because that would push the boundaries of
Correct.
everything I'm comfortable with because
Correct.
I am claustrophobic.
Correct. Now they was completely sealed up, but they had like a tube
Straw,
where they
like
could
is what I
breathe.
thought of,
Yep.
but like a tube.
It
Yeah,
was
that
a
makes
tube
more
where
sense.
they could breathe, but that was the only.
Everything else, and I imagine their breathing would be impacted by the vacuum. You can't fully expand. Right. Exactly.
Right. Yep. So there you have it. There is a very, very, very short list of kinks and
it
fetishes.
Was long to us, sir. It was long to us because there's a lot of words.
Oh yeah. And then there is still so much more out there. And yes, it has been said 2 or 3 times through this. We want to make sure and reiterate it again. Just because we're not interested in something does not mean you should be ashamed to be.
Right.
That's the good thing about BDSM. You get to explore what you enjoy. You get to explore your fantasies, your wants, your needs, with no judgment.
Yes.
And in this episode, we've talked about a lot of kinks. We've talked about a lot of fetishes, some things we like, some things we didn't like. But by no means are we judging anybody who wants to participate in these.
No,
and
there's large communities of.
And as a matter of fact, just because there is some things on here that I'm not interested in, I would still love to see.
Right.
I may not want to do it or have it done to me.
Right.
But everything on this list, if we knew somebody that done one of everything here, I would want to watch it. I would want to see it because I want to experience other people's kinks and then see the enjoyment that they get
from it, because that's such a big thing. Even if I'm not enjoying it, if somebody else is getting pleasure from it,
right?
To me, that's
pleasure to me.
Yes.
And that's one reason why I love being a dom and doing the educating and the, demonstrating on people, especially when I'm doing something that they enjoy. I get so much pleasure. I get so much out of it by them enjoying it. So although, if I'm not participating in it, seeing somebody else get enjoyment out of their kink, out of their fetish, brings huge joy to me.
Right.
So again, by no means are we kink shaming.
No.
We 100% disagree with anybody
just really
that kink
wanted
shames.
People to
shed light on some
right.
stuff.
And we'll probably end up with another 1 or 2 episodes of this in the future. This was just, we were looking at one thing, which led to 2 other things, which is how it broadened.
Yep.
And but we by no means, we haven't
Oh, yeah.
even scratched the surface.
Right.
So if you're going, why did they talk about these things? Because we looked at one thing, which brought us to two others.
And, it enlightens us.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit more experience by researching.
Oh, yes. I
by
learned
reading
about
this.
Master Nick.
We learned, you learned a little bit more about me.
I did.
But the most important thing, again, is we know there is people out there, whether they listen to us, whether they don't. Maybe they've got a friend. I don't know. But there is somebody out there with one of these kinks or one of these fetishes that is scared to talk about it, that is scared to explore it because they feel they're the only person in the world that has this. And I know this because I was one of those people at one time.
Right.
I was scared to talk about my kinks and I was scared to talk about my fetishes because everybody I was around was, in my eyes, normal.
Right.
And by finding BDSM, by you finding me, by us getting together and exploring BDSM, normal no longer exists in my world because everybody has a kink, everybody has a fantasy, and I want everybody to be able to experience it.
Yes.
And either you enjoy it or you don't, but you at least experience it and you know what it's like and you're no longer curious.
Right.
And we want to expand not only our knowledge in BDSM, but you as our listeners, we want to expand yours as well.
Right. I'm right there. I agree 100%.
Yep.
So I'm glad you're joining us on this journey.
Yep. And with that, until next time, we will see you back next weekend with possibly
Yes.
events and
Information
interviews from Kinktasia.
That is the hope.
You all stay safe. Have a great week. Make sure and come back next week for plenty more to come.
Thank you for joining us. Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.